Hey friends, it's your favorite duck here, Derek the Duck. Let's talk about the movies I saw for this month, December, at the Alamo Draft House with my Alamo season pass. You know I love to go to the movies, and I really like it when they're free, and so that's what you get when you have the Alamo season pass. It's a really great deal, in my opinion. The first movie I saw this month was Queer with Daniel Craig, 007. I'm a big fan of director Luca Guadagnino. Usually there's an undertone of sexuality in his movies, but this one wasn't subtle at all. It was about writer William S. Burroughs. It was very existential and kind of boring, unfortunately. The standout was the unrecognizable Leslie Manville, who I thought deserved the Oscar for her role in Phantom Thread. She really had fun with her role here and sort of saved the movie from being unbearably dull. The second movie I saw was actually in Chicago, Illinois, which was a departure from my usual viewings, which are here in Texas. And I really loved the Chicago location, I must say. It was brand new, and they have a video vortex mini shop inside with movies that you can rent for up to like 5 days for free, which is a great deal. You can get them as DVDs or VHS. And best of all is that they don't have a mandatory gratuity tacked onto the food bill, unlike the Texas locations. So at the Alamo Draft House in Wrigleyville, I saw a screening of Female Trouble, starring the one and only Divine. Now, I am a huge fan of John Waters, and I was lucky enough to actually meet him in person back in 2016 at London Heathrow Airport. He was just sitting there. He was one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met, and we even took a selfie together. I told him that he was a genius and that Pink Flamingos was a masterpiece. And he told me that I reminded him of a young Travolta. Well, actually, I told him that I reminded myself of a young Travolta, but he didn't deny it. Anyway, Female Trouble was a whole lot of fun. Everyone in the audience was just laughing and having a great time the whole time. I highly recommend this movie at an Alamo screening if you can catch it. The third movie I saw was also in Chicago, and this was an A24 movie called Y2K. They had a great pre-show with lots of old snippets from the internet.
Be pervasive.
It is working out nicely.
In dead of winter, at the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 2000, elevators may stop. Heat may vanish. Credit cards and ATMs may cease to function.
This movie overall was a lot of fun, and it showed that comedian and star Kyle Mooney is a rising, promising director. There were a lot of fun cameos in the movie, and overall it was hilarious and pretty good. It wasn't something that I'd recommend seeing in the big screen. It'll work better at home, with a bunch of crazy friends who, especially if you were that age in the 90s, which I think I was. And, watching it on an old VCR or something like that, that would be fun. Anyway, when I got back to Texas, I saw my fourth movie of the month, and this was The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, I think is how you pronounce it, or Rohirrims. I'm still not really sure what a Rohirrim is, but if I had to guess, it's probably the name of the people of Rohan, which I'm assuming that Rohan is a place and not a person. I'm still not 100% sure. I mean, I'd have called them the Rohanians if it was up to me, but of course, J.R.R. Tolkien didn't run it past me. Anyway, the pre-show was pretty good. It had lots of hobbitses and all kinds of stuff. The movie itself was okay. Well, actually, it was a cartoon. I mean, it was a sort of Japanese-style animation. At least it wasn't some horrible Pixar thing. Although, like with the other Lord of the Ring movies, the masterpieces, the classics that we have, This one suffered from a bunch of very long, drawn out, kind of boring battle scenes, which I should have known from a title that has the word war in it. Anyway, overall it was okay. I heard it's coming to Amazon Prime after only like 2 weeks at the theaters. So, it should work just fine on streaming. And the last movie I saw just a few hours ago here in Texas. It was another A24 movie, and I always see A24 movies. This one was called Babygirl. What's Christmas without Nicole Kidman running around the big city having sexual escapades or sexcapades, like in Eyes Wide Shut? It's very holiday-ish. I thought the movie was pretty good, especially Kidman's acting, which I thought was spot on. I'd never really seen her as vulnerable as she was in this one. The movie was actually funnier than you'd think. A lot of people, we were laughing. Although overall, I thought it was kind of a weak script. I felt like I was going along for this very uh, intriguing ride of something you don't normally see. And I just couldn't wait to see what was around, coming around the corner. But overall, at the end, I felt kind of disappointed. I mean, I think the movie could have just gone in so many more directions with such unique, exciting material. But I feel like it just didn't. It didn't go further. It just left me wanting a lot more. That's all I can say about this movie. It was okay, but it left me wanting more. Overall, I feel like December 2024 was kind of a slow month. There are actually 5 more days of the month, and I could go back to the Alamo Drafthouse and see 5 more free movies, but just looking at the roster, I'm just not interested in anything that's playing right now. I actually also saw the movie Nosferatu, but I didn't see it at the Alamo Drafthouse, so I feel it would be disingenuous to review it here. Although overall, I thought it was only okay. It was just like every other Dracula movie I've ever seen, except it didn't have Keanu Reeves, so like, what? Anyway, the only really good movie experience this month was Female Trouble, but that movie is 50 years old, so if you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you. But here's hoping for great new movies in 2025. I'm going to renew my pass, and I just can't wait to see what's around the corner for next year. So hopefully you'll join me then too. Thanks for listening to my review, and we'll see you next time.